My name is Caroline Gentry, and the title of my presentation is Equality is Truth, Homosexuals and the Right to Marry. I will prove that a committed contractual and love-based relationship between two people of the same sex should be given equal rights as those unions between heterosexual couples and should be recognized legally as civil marriage. First, I will address the moral and religious argument against allowing same-sex couples to marry. Then I will outline the rights that same-sex couples are denied even though they live similar lives compared to heterosexual married couples. And finally, I will show that denying same-sex couples the rights that heterosexual couples enjoy is discrimination and goes against the 14th Amendment to the Constitution. Some people associate the word homosexual with promiscuity, pickup bars, pornography, and one-night stands. However, these behaviors are no more tied to the homosexual community than they are to the heterosexual population. Morally speaking, without resorting to any religious argument, there is no foundation for the belief that homosexual relationships are less healthy or more detrimental to the human well-being than heterosexual relationships. There is widespread and growing disagreement about what the Bible does or does not teach about homosexuality. The disagreement is among Christians, and not just one denomination of Christians, but every denomination. Within the past 2 years, the Presbyterian Church, PCUSA, has voted to allow non-celibate, openly gay, and lesbian men and women to serve as clergy in Presbyterian churches. Passages from the Bible have also been used to defend discrimination against African Americans and women. Michael Perry says, "The belief that, according to the Bible, slavery can be morally permissible was mistaken, but it was more than mistaken. As we can now see, that then traditional belief about the Bible and slavery was a rationalization for a fundamentally sinful state of affairs. The fact that our government used the Bible to overpower, deny rights, and treat African Americans as second-class citizens points to the possibility that a similar situation could be permitted in the present day." In the end, the United States government operates on the concept of freedom of religion and the division of church and state. The United States has no established national religion, and that decision was made by our founding fathers. Our country is unique in that it grants its citizens the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I would argue that for homosexuals, just as heterosexuals, the pursuit of happiness for most individuals would involve finding a partner with which you can spend the rest of your life. The number of benefits that come from the legal act of marrying someone are largely taken for granted by homosexual or heterosexual couples today. However, if those rights were unavailable, they would be dearly missed. These rights are related to parenting and family law, life insurance and estate planning, immigration, health care, and the costs and uncertainty associated with establishing legal protections that are not backed up by legal marriage. Along with legal protections, marriage also offers a welcomed, familiarized status in society. The cultural power of law and the cultural enactment of legality, the case of same-sex marriage, Kathleen Hull states, "Homosexuals constitute a social class that the law has defined, and in many places continues to define, as criminal, deviant, or undeserving of basic legal rights and protections. This second-class citizenship is arguably a defining element of the gay and lesbian identity. While some studies of legal consciousness have focused on socially oppressed actors such as the poor, women, and racial minorities, a focus on gay and lesbians expands this analysis to consider the consciousness of another set of actors whose disadvantage is condoned and reinforced by the law." There is no doubt that homosexuals are being discriminated against. Michael Perry says, A law discriminates against homosexuals if it treats them less well than it would treat them if they were heterosexuals. Section 1 of the 14th Amendment to the Constitution says, "No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws." The Equal Protection Clause is called the Equal Protection Clause because it was formed on the idea that every man was created equal. The equal protection idea has been used to disfavor discrimination against citizens of the United States because of their race, and it moved beyond race to disfavor discrimination based on sex. Would it be illegitimate to move beyond sex to sexual orientation? Homosexuals are full-fledged citizens of the United States, and to deny them rights just because granting those rights is unpopular among the majority of Americans poses a constitutional-sized ethical dilemma. Does the majority rule, or should the Constitution be followed as it was meant to be, even when it may be inconvenient to do so? In conclusion, same-sex marriage is a very complex issue with lots of components that need to be taken into account before making an informed judgment. I would encourage Christians and other religious people who oppose gay marriage because of religious beliefs to take time to form a personal, cognizant opinion rather than blindly follow the masses. Many same-sex couples are married, but that marriage is not legally recognized, which means they are denied rights like tax deductions, joint custody, and medical decision-making. If the Constitution can be used to protect African Americans and women from discrimination, then why would it not protect all citizens from inequality, including homosexuals? In a country that prides itself on freedom for its citizens, it is plainly unconstitutional to deny two people in love the right to get married based on their gender and sexual orientation. And that concludes my presentation.